Nevada has a clearly regulated late fee framework with specific statutory provisions that provide structure while allowing landlords reasonable flexibility. The governing law is found in Nevada Revised Statutes, Chapter 118A, the Nevada Residential Landlord and Tenant Act, which includes specific provisions addressing late fees. If you're a landlord or tenant in Nevada, the statutory framework provides clear rules, and the state's explosive population growth makes compliance particularly important given the volume of landlord-tenant transactions. Let's start with the key provisions. Under NRS 118A.200, a landlord may charge a late fee, but the fee must be reasonable. Nevada statute does not specify a precise dollar cap or percentage cap in the way some states do. Instead, it requires that the fee not be unconscionable. However, Nevada case law and regulatory practice have established practical boundaries. Nevada courts evaluate late fee reasonableness under the same general framework used for liquidated damages provisions. The fee must represent a reasonable pre-estimate of the landlord's damages from late payment, and the fee cannot function as a penalty. Fees in the range of 5 to 8% of the monthly rent, or reasonable flat fees that correspond to documented administrative costs, are generally considered defensible. Nevada requires a grace period. Under NRS 118A.210, the landlord must allow at least 3 days after the rent due date before charging a late fee. If rent is due on the 1st, the late fee cannot be imposed until the 5th. The 3-day grace period is mandatory. The lease cannot shorten it. 3 days is shorter than many states. Virginia and North Carolina require 5, Rhode Island requires 15. But for Nevada's fast-paced market, 3 days is the statutory minimum, and landlords must honor it. Many Nevada landlords voluntarily extend the grace period to 5 days as standard practice, which provides additional buffer and aligns with industry norms. The lease must clearly state the late fee terms. Under the Nevada Residential Landlord and Tenant Act, the fee must be specified in the rental agreement. The lease should state the rent due date, the 3-day minimum grace period, the exact fee amount or formula, when the fee triggers, and whether the fee is defined as additional rent. A late fee that isn't documented in the lease is not enforceable. Nevada statute includes a specific provision about partial payments. If a tenant tenders a partial payment and the landlord accepts it, the late fee should be calculated on the unpaid portion, not the full rent. This protects tenants who make good faith efforts to pay as much as they can by limiting the fee to the amount actually delinquent. Compounding late fees in Nevada must satisfy the reasonableness standard. A single one-time fee after the grace period is the cleanest approach. If your lease includes daily charges for continued non-payment, the total must remain reasonable. A compounding structure that could produce fees exceeding 15% of the monthly rent would likely face challenge. Most Nevada landlords use a single flat fee to keep it simple and defensible. The interaction between late fees and the eviction process in Nevada is fast. Under NRS 40.253, the landlord can serve a 7-day pay or quit notice for non-payment of rent. If the tenant fails to pay within 7 days, the landlord can file for eviction through a summary eviction procedure that is one of the fastest in the country. Nevada's summary eviction process is designed for speed. The landlord files an affidavit. The court can issue an order for removal without a full trial if the tenant doesn't contest, and the entire process can be completed within days. This fast timeline means late fee compliance matters from day one, because non-compliant fees included in the pay or quit notice give the tenant grounds to contest the eviction and slow down the process. Whether unpaid late fees can be included in the 7-day notice depends on how the lease defines them. If defined as additional rent, they're includable. If not, the landlord may need to pursue them separately. Best practice: define late fees as additional rent. Nevada limits the security deposit to 3 months' rent. The deposit must be returned within 30 days. The landlord must provide an itemized statement of deductions if any are claimed. Unpaid late fees can be deducted if the lease authorizes it and the fees are reasonable. Wrongful withholding of the deposit can result in the landlord being liable for the full deposit amount. For tenants receiving Housing Choice Voucher Assistance, Nevada landlords should not charge late fees when the Housing Authority's portion is delayed due to processing. Nevada prohibits source of income discrimination under NRS 118.020. Landlords cannot refuse to rent to or discriminate against tenants based on their lawful source of income, including housing vouchers. Penalizing a voucher tenant for the authority's processing delay creates both a late fee issue and a potential discrimination claim. Nevada's military population is significant, centered around Nellis Air Force Base and Creech Air Force Base in the Las Vegas area, and the Naval Air Station Fallon near Fallon. Military pay is predictable, the 1st and 15th, and most military tenants pay reliably. The 3-day grace period accommodates minor pay processing delays. Nellis AFB is one of the largest Air Force bases in the country, home to the Thunderbirds, Red Flag exercises, and a massive combat training mission. The military and civilian workforce generates significant rental demand throughout the Northeast Las Vegas Valley, particularly in North Las Vegas, Summerlin North, and Aliante. The constant rotation of temporary duty personnel for Red Flag exercises creates short-term demand in addition to permanent party rentals. Creech AFB, home to unmanned aerial vehicle operations, generates demand in the Indian Springs and Northwest Las Vegas areas. NAS Fallon generates military demand in Churchill County, a much smaller and more rural market. From a practical standpoint, Nevada's rental market is dominated by the Las Vegas Metro, one of the largest and fastest-growing markets in the country. Las Vegas has experienced dramatic rent growth over the past several years, driven by massive population influx from California and other high-cost states, strong job growth in hospitality, healthcare, technology, and logistics, and limited housing supply during peak growth periods. Rents in Las Vegas vary enormously, from $800 in older apartment communities to $2,500 or more in newer Class A properties. The Las Vegas Strip and the broader hospitality industry create unique late payment dynamics. Hospitality workers, dealers, servers, hotel staff often have income that fluctuates based on tips, conventions, and tourist volume. Late payment patterns may correlate with slow periods in the tourism calendar, January through February, and the summer months when visitor traffic is lower. Landlords with hospitality worker tenants should anticipate these seasonal patterns. The growing technology and healthcare sectors, including companies relocating from California, bring professional tenants with stable incomes and reliable payment patterns. Late fee enforcement for this demographic is minimal. Henderson has become a premium suburban market with strong demand. North Las Vegas has experienced significant growth with more moderate rents. Summerlin is an established premium community. The Las Vegas exurbs, Pahrump, Mesquite, Boulder City, have smaller markets with varying dynamics. Reno-Sparks is Nevada's second-largest market and has experienced explosive growth driven by Tesla's Gigafactory, data centers, distribution facilities, and California migration. Rents in Reno have increased dramatically, approaching Las Vegas levels in many neighborhoods. The tech and logistics workforce generally pays reliably. Carson City, the state capital, has a moderate market. Elko, Winnemucca, and rural Nevada communities have smaller markets influenced by mining and ranching. One best practice for Nevada landlords: honor the 3-day grace period precisely. Do not charge or even generate a late fee notice before day 4. Nevada's fast, summary eviction process is a powerful tool, but only if the landlord's compliance is clean from the start. A fee charged on day 2 or 3 violates the statute and gives the tenant a defense if the case goes to court. Another best practice: set your late fee at a level that's meaningful but defensible. In Las Vegas and Reno, where rents range widely, a percentage-based fee, 5 to 8%, automatically scales to the rent level. A flat fee works too, but should be calibrated to the market. A $50 fee on a $900 apartment is reasonable. A $50 fee on a $2,500 luxury rental may be too low to matter, while still being compliant. A third best practice, for properties with hospitality worker tenants, consider setting the rent due date to align with the most common pay schedules in the industry. Many hospitality workers are paid bi-weekly or on the 15th and last day of the month. A due date of the 15th rather than the 1st may reduce late payments for this demographic. The 3-day grace period applies regardless of which day of the month rent is due. For the complete guide to Nevada late fee laws, visit tenantscreeningbackgroundcheck.com. Subscribe to our channel for every state in our late fee law series.